are ready for some barbecue. What is there to do in Kansas City, you ask? Great question.
I feel like I'm in a hot sauna.
I don't know much about it, but I do know it is in the center of America. It's about as Midwestern as it gets. I know there's a lot of history here. They're really fond of drinking, as are we. I think music, jazz, blues is a big thing, and I'm pretty sure barbecue's big.
It melts in your mouth.
Man, that's good.
I mean, I think like a lot of Americans, I don't know that much about Kansas City or really what it has to offer. So we are here to spend the next 2 days figuring out what Kansas City is all about.
Hey, give me some chances of bopping it. Hey, we making moves and I'm stopping it. Hey, hey, show us love, show us love.
The Kansas City metro area is home to nearly 2 million people, sprawling across 8,500 square miles and straddling the Missouri and Kansas state line. Although most of what attracts visitors to Kansas City resides on the Missouri side.
It's a smaller city, but it has a lot of really big city energy, where you get the food scene's really good, the music scene's incredible, but you don't have to deal with like LA traffic for 4 hours to get 20 miles. You get to miss a lot of the worst parts of being a major city and get to keep the fun essence of like a major metropolitan area.
Many travelers pit stop here on cross-country road trips along I-70, the oldest and possibly most scenic interstate in the United States. We, however, chose to fly in, arriving at Kansas City International about 30 minutes north of downtown. Getting into town with a rideshare or taxi will cost you around $50, and for us was the easier, more affordable choice than renting a car from the airport.
We headed straight to the Aiden Kansas City downtown, a boutique Best Western hotel newly opened in 2026. It's uniquely designed to tell the story of the historic Mutual Bank building. The renovation preserves details from the building's past life, like the original vault door from 1919, while updating the space with modern conveniences and amenities we appreciate in a hotel, like a fitness center, bar, and restaurant. The rooms are spacious with beautiful Art Deco styling, a nod to the property's original era. Plus, it's conveniently located in the up-and-coming Power and Light District, across from the T-Mobile Center, a short walk to the free KC streetcar on Main Street, and the trendy Crossroads Art District, a neighborhood we will be spending a lot of time in during this trip.
The rise of Kansas City began during westward expansion in the 1850s. At the start, it was a popular trading stop and origin point of pioneer wagon routes like the Santa Fe, California, and Oregon trails. By the turn of the century, Kansas City had become one of the most important hubs in the United States, thanks to the Kansas Pacific Railway. It connected the first true transcontinental railroad, forever changing transit within America. And at the center of it all was Union Station. This massive Beaux Arts building was a bustling headquarters for travelers venturing across the country, as well as rail postal workers processing and delivering mail at lightning speeds for the time. At its peak, more than 1 million travelers passed through here annually.
This is very, very, very beautiful. I don't know, I've kind of expected this to be a little bit of a tourist trap, but it is stunning inside. It's such a piece of history, perfectly frozen in time. And it has great restaurants inside if you want to get a drink at Pier Ponds. It's kind of like a fancy spot for dinner, but they have a great happy hour. And there also is an active Amtrak here. So if you're going on the train, this is your departing station, which is amazing. This was such a grand period of time. It wasn't glamorous for those working it. I'm sure it was actually quite a challenging period of time to have lived in, but the products, what they made during that time is just so beautiful.
Today, Kansas City is known for different reasons. The most delicious one is barbecue. KC's passion for barbecue originates from being home to the second largest stockyards in the nation for over 100 years. We could have picked any of the 100 plus barbecue restaurants in the metro area, but we're tucking into a delectable looking plate of brisket and burn-ins at Q39.
Oh my gosh, it's so tender. Barbecue is such a beautiful thing. I feel like if you're in Kansas City, you should have barbecue every single day. Why not? That is really, really freaking good. It is so moist and fatty. I honestly don't think it needs any barbecue sauce. It's fantastic. It's a very different barbecue experience. It's large, fast-paced, a little bit more high-end. They're known for their sides here as well, so make sure you load up on the sides. We got Mexican street corn, baked beans. Their mac and cheese is legendary. I'm getting more like rib essence from this. You get a lot of the smoke, a lot of good char on it. Man, that's good.
I'd say one thing that you can't miss, I would say the most local version of your favorite thing is I think what you should try and find in Kansas City.
For us, there's nothing quite like the thrill of finding treasure in someone else's junk. Truly, thrifting is one of our favorite ways to spend a day. And the West Bottoms is one of the best places in Kansas City to do exactly that. Once home to crowded stockyards, and until fairly recently, one of KC's roughest neighborhoods. This area is in the middle of a renaissance, driven by vintage shops, antique warehouses, and creative small businesses. Once a month, massive warehouses open their doors for one of the area's largest antique markets, and it truly looks like paradise for thrift lovers. But if your visit doesn't align, don't worry, there's still plenty of vintage clothing stores to pick through throughout the weekend.
If spending an afternoon thrifting your way through turn-of-the-century industrial buildings isn't your idea of a good time, maybe fine art is more your speed. Not far from Q39 in Midtown, you'll find fantastic museums like the Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art and the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art.
I feel like I'm in a hot sauna, or that a blow dryer is just blowing hot air on me. It is toasty in July in Kansas City. Pretty much June to early September, it can reach 100 degrees regularly. Very, very hot, and it's humid here. So we have been trying to just pretty much bounce from spot to spot as quickly as possible, finding the shade because you are just drenched in sweat as you're exploring. If you're looking for the ideal season to visit Kansas City, spring and fall is definitely peak times to come here. You'll get fantastic weather, and then you can enjoy everything the city has to offer. We are going to be spending as much time indoors because it's just brutal out here. We're going to the Nelson Art Museum, which is one of the largest art museums and is free to enter. It's also home to that iconic, not a birdie, a
Shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock. I'm ready. Get me inside. I can't do this anymore. I've been out here for like 3 minutes and all of me's wet.
Instantly feeling relief from the air conditioning, our soft-boiled minds could focus on admiring the 42,000 plus works of art on display in this massive collection. The galleries are focused mostly on classical works, curated by geography and time period dating back as far as 5,000 years. We spent around 2 hours exploring and saw many of the highlights the museum has to offer, including works from iconic masters like Vincent van Gogh, Manet, Renoir, Monet, and many more.
I would say the most overrated thing is probably the plaza. It's cool that it looks like Sevilla, Spain, and it's like it's supposed to exemplify us being a sister city of them, but I can't say that I'm having like the best experiences Kansas City has to offer there anymore, unfortunately.
One of the things you have to do when you're in Kansas City is go to the World War I Museum. It's the only World War I museum in North America, and I've been there multiple times, and I feel like I could go back and see more stuff that I missed if I spent a whole nother day there.
Sadly, we missed this museum. It was one of our biggest regrets from the trip because, well, we simply didn't have enough time to see it all in Kansas City. If you're short on time like us, at minimum, head to the top of Liberty Memorial Tower around sunset for incredible views of the skyline. As the light faded over Kansas City, we traded our view for a seat at the bar at Anjin.
This quaint 20-seat Japanese izakaya feels about as far removed from Kansas City barbecue as you can get. Anjin was a finalist for the 2026 James Beard Award for Best New Restaurant, creating an intimate, laid-back space with an impressive rotating menu led by chefs Nick and Leslie Gellner and partner Drew Little. To start, we dove into the tuna crudo with cherries, gooseberries, black garlic mayo, and fried wontons.
Super layered from the spices that they put on top of the crudo. Tuna is so thin.
Now the yakitori, bamboo skewers of chicken meatballs, hearts, and chicken oysters grilled to perfection over glowing charcoal.
I'm trying the chicken heart first. I can't dance in here, guys, because ambiance, but I'm dancing inside. I don't know why our country has such an aversion against organ meat. I feel like every other country just loves stomach, brains, the heart, the liver. It is fantastic, guys. Eat more heart, I promise.
Next up, the fried chicken sando, possibly the most delectable chicken sandwich I have ever eaten, on the softest house-made milk bread that puts all others I've had to shame.
Is it milk bread?
Yo, this is spectacular. So juicy. You get the crunch from the outside fried chicken. The bread is so soft. This is amazing. Amazing.
To follow, a seasonal summer dish of smoked eel with rice, chili tomatoes, shiso, and eel dashi.
I love the brininess, taste of the ocean. They saved a little bit of the gelatin from the eel. They cooked it in this beautiful broth. It is quite fatty. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've only ever really had eel sauce or eel on top of sushi, but this is beautiful. Such an approachable, delicious meal. Loved this.
If Japanese cuisine isn't your thing, book a table at their sister restaurant, the Antler Room. It's been a staple in Kansas City for over 10 years, with a seasonally inspired global menu, offering dishes like house-made focaccia with grilled asparagus and smashed fava beans, chicken liver mousse and pistachio baklava, or bucatini with smoked mussels, harissa butter, anchovy dashi, fava beans, and sumac shallots. A new day brings another chance to explore more of Kansas City's wildly underrated food scene, flexing more highly rated restaurants than even seasoned face stuffers like us could pack into a single trip. One could grab some house-roasted lattes, a giant breakfast burrito, and a freshly baked pastry at Messenger Coffee in the Crossroads Arts District, or snag a seat at Mildred's, downtown in the Library District, and enjoy a breakfast sandwich or their famous bacon and egg hash.
It's got crunchy potatoes on the bottom, like hash brown style, and a really nice sauce on top with a little bit of heat to it. And we got a gooey butter cake. Oh, yeah. Someone commented the other day that I shouldn't stop dancing because it helps them know my level of enjoyment of food. I'm dancing, guys.
Happy and full, we headed toward Main Street to hop on the KC streetcar, which connects many of the main tourist areas in central Kansas City. Not only is it free, but it's air conditioned, clean, and efficient, making it super easy to get to our next stop. Welcome to City Market.
Nothing tells me you've reached peak adulthood like getting excited for a farmer's market. We are farmer's market people through and through. I don't know, there's something about seeing all the fresh, juicy produce, the diversity, seeing people shopping. Nothing makes me happier. And City Market is one of the largest in the Midwest. It's also been here since 1857, and it is massive.
Today, it's hard to imagine, but City Market in the River Market District was once one of the roughest neighborhoods in the city. With the rise of at-home refrigeration and mass migration to the suburbs, the area crumbled, despite several revitalization attempts over the last century. The latest restoration has attracted new businesses back to the area, which is now thriving with plenty of great places to grab lunch or shop with local producers. But we're saving space for round 2 of Kansas City's barbecue at Arthur Bryant's in the historic 18th and Vine district. Considered the birthplace of burnt ends, brothers Charlie and Arthur Bryant opened this legendary establishment in 1946. Burnt ends are now a staple on every KC barbecue joint's menu, but the dish had humble beginnings as sample scraps of brisket the brothers handed out to guests waiting in line. Their barbecue is seasoned with a secret blend of spices and finished with one of 3 sauces, which have a dash more vinegar than you'll find in most traditional KC sauce recipes.
Might have overdone ourselves. We are ready for some barbecue, and it smells so good. Kansas City burnt ends, baby. I am so excited for this. They look beautiful. Crunchy, crispy, flavorful, fatty. It's like music to my ears. Really tender. This is fantastic. And the brisket looks beautiful. I think this is gonna need sauce. What sauce are we thinking? Spicy and rich, original? Or we got sweet heat? Let's try sweet heat. Ooh. Nice and sweet though. I've heard in Kansas City, the sauce here that makes it. So if you're here, try as many barbecue spots as you can, and you never know which one's gonna be your favorite. I love these burnt ends.
Burnt ends aren't the only American tradition to originate from this area of KC. For decades, the 18th and Vine district was a cultural hub for Kansas City, inspiring legendary jazz musicians and the birthplace of the Negro Leagues. During a time when black players were banned from playing in Major League Baseball, Rube Foster founded the Negro National League in 1920, giving some of the country's best black baseball players a place to compete professionally. The league launched with 8 teams, including the Kansas City Monarchs, who would go on to win the Negro League World Series.
The games drew enormous crowds as people came to see the greatest ball players of their generation, like Satchel Paige, Ernie Banks, and Bullet Rogan. The Negro Leagues were a proving ground for players to break the color barrier, including Jackie Robinson, the first player to join the major leagues in 1947, opening the door for every generation of Black players to follow. Do I look like Satchel? Considering we are not sports people and we know pretty much nothing about baseball, I am surprised at how much we enjoyed this museum. I don't think you have to be a sports person to come here and enjoy it. I think you just need to enjoy history because it played such an important role in the creation of modern baseball as we know it today. Well, knowing that it started right here in Kansas City is so cool. I also love learning about the 18th and Vine district. They have like a little museum to help you get to know the neighborhood. They also have the Jazz Museum on the other side, so there's a lot to learn by coming here.
Originally, this was one of KC's racially defined neighborhoods, a 20-block enclave where Black residents could legally live during the Jim Crow era. But despite extreme prejudice and segregation, the neighborhood thrived, building a tightly woven community with Black-owned businesses, churches, schools, social groups, and their own newspaper that shared what was happening within the community. Like many segregated communities, it became the hub of a movement that transformed and elevated several things we all consider classically American, like jazz. Jazz was born in New Orleans, and blues came from Mississippi. But what turned jazz and blues into what they are today happened in Kansas City, largely inside the clubs near the corner of 18th and Vine. They turned on the spotlight for jazz legends like Count Basie, Charlie Parker, Lester Young, Mary Lou Williams, and many more in the 1920s and 30s.
During Prohibition, Kansas City was run by a corrupt political boss, Tom Pendergast, who kept alcohol free-flowing in speakeasies largely in the 18th and Vine district. Profiting wildly with his wholesale liquor company, KC was one of the only places nationwide to wet your whistle, creating a thriving nightlife scene.
When you're in 18th and Vine, visit Vine Street Brewery, a Black-owned and operated brewery with a unique space inside a historic utility building. But if spirits are more your speed, head to Tom's Town Distilling, a modern-day distillery bar and restaurant that offers daily tours and great cocktails with Prohibition-era decor. But whatever you do, don't miss a live jazz show on your trip to KC. We recommend catching an early show at the Blue Room, a historic jazz club in the 18th and Vine district. But there are plenty of great jazz bars sprinkled throughout the city.
It's hard to resist a good jazz bar. The sporadic melody drifting through the room, the hum of conversation, the clinking of glasses at the bar. Some people find the improvisational nature of jazz too chaotic, but I love it, especially in a place as moody and inviting as the Black Dolphin.
Amazing. I'm loving this so much.
If you're having a good time and the copious amounts of alcohol you've likely consumed at this point are saying, don't stop here, I'd recommend heading to the Ship. The massive bar in the West Bottoms is guaranteed to be a good time, especially if you're lucky enough to catch live music like Kemet and the Phantom and Kadesh Flow, local KC artists and one of the owners of Vine Street Brewing. They blend modern jazz and hip-hop with an 18-piece brass band led by Marcus Lewis.
Give me some jazz with a bop in it. We make it personal, stop in it. Swagger, I gotta get rid of my battery. Worried about someone doubting me. The one that came with the one where they check to keep it 100 when the holidays. Means I stay by me, plus I ain't shouting it. But about later, I'm proud of it. Marcus Kimmett and this with the prodigies. Hated this comedy. This is the song. Thanks for the Elizabeth lost. Close for the tax of it lost. No matter the cost. Thanks for the bringing the bombs. Leaving the drop for the job. But look, you have with the money. Because we can see that this is the real. Continue this something that has to be system. We get the pounds in the world. No cap like the NFL.
The essence of Kansas City, I would say hard work. You know, because we are like in the heartland, I feel like we get overlooked and forgotten about. We get called a flyover city all the time, but I know some of the hardest working people here that run restaurants, have bands, brands, because sometimes it's such a small city, feel like they have to leave and escape and use their talents in like a bigger market. But that stuff's grown here.
We've been to Arthur Bryant's once before on a short stopover when we were RVing across the country. And I was a vegetarian at the time. What was I thinking? Just 9 years of my life.
Put 'em up, to the right, to the left, to the right.